Hi, so Gaz here from FUNPUBQUIZ.com with a third video to put onto the website. Now, assuming now you've ordered the 4 weeks or you've ordered a quiz from me from the website and you've received it, here's what the quiz will look like. So straight away, it starts with the questions round one. There's no extra faff or extra stuff in there, because if you don't want to print it off and don't want to waste the printing, then I don't want you to have to do that either. So there's no additional stuff that you don't need in the packs themselves. So straight away you go into round one. There's round two. There's the answers to round one and round two. And then the second answer sheet, which gives you the answers to both the picture rounds, some replacement questions in case you're not happy with some of the questions that are in the main quiz, and then some tie breaks and spare questions as well, in order for you to do tie breaks or games around jackpot questions, etc. and so on. It comes in PDF format. The pictures are as colourful and as clear as I can get them. Of course, that sometimes depends on the quality of your printer. And then there's a score sheet at the end to help you keep score as well. So let's go through some of the questions then. Questions 1, 2, 3 and 4 of round one are relatively easy, or at least not too hard, and true or false is number 2, allowing them to get a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Why are they easier? Well, just to warm your crowd up, just to get people ready for the quiz proper, I guess. Number 5 is a multiple choice question, and that's relatively straightforward. And then up until question 10, which is a top 5 question. And although I update and sometimes change the content of the quizzes, I generally try to keep the structure of the quizzes consistent. This is easier for you as a quiz master, and it's something that quiz regulars like. They don't seem to like change. So as you all know, if you're quiz masters yourselves, you've got to introduce change quietly and probably not too often. This example, the top 5 of the countries with the most billionaires, according to a 2019 survey. But of course, each week there's a new top 5 question for them to answer. I asked them to give 5 answers. The answers to the top 5 questions can be found here on the answer sheet. And in this example, if they've got any of those 5 answers, they'll get a point for each one they've got. I tend to give a bonus point if within those answers they've said that they believed the USA was the top answer, as you can see there. As a quiz master, of course, it's entirely up to you. Question 11 and 12 are generally slightly harder questions, with 13 being what we call at FUNPUBQUIZ.com a word play question. And it's a 4-letter word that can go after aim, clue and point in this example, but this format is generally used each week. There's 2 of these. There's one in round 1. You'll find another in round 2. That's very popular amongst quizzers. They do like them. 14 is always a sport question, so there's at least 2 sport questions in each quiz. It's a difficult thing to get right. Some people like a lot of sport, other people will complain if there's too much sport. I try to get a balance if I can. 15 is multiple choice and 16 is who am I? Now, who am I really does warm your quiz crowd up. What you've got there is 5 clues, the identity of a famous celebrity. It's guessable after the first clue and can get them 5 points, which really does tempt them into giving you an answer. But if they wait and wait for the second clue, they'll get 4, third 3, and so on. The way that I do this at my pub quiz, yes, I'm a quiz master too, is I read the first clue out and then I go and mark the answer on the answer sheet myself. So they know if that's already marked or tampered with to call me over on the other team. So this allows them to gamble really on going too early with an answer, and there's a lot of wind up and camaraderie that goes on between the teams. It gets them talking to each other, it gets them involved with each other. And if you have regulars, and most of you will, you'll know that there's often banter between teams during the quiz. This really gets that going. Good spirited, of course, but banter nonetheless. Question 18 is a lyric. And number 20 is name the movie, where there's a synopsis of a movie, the year the movie's released. In the mixed packs, the movie will be a relatively new movie. In the silver packs, it'll be an old movie. It'll be 50s, 60s movie, a nostalgic movie, a movie that people of an older generation will remember. Round 2 follows a very similar format with one major change, and that is that we introduce in 6, 7 and 8 the connection section of question 9. So the answers to 6, 7 and 8 will be connected, and they have to guess the connection. This again is a very popular question amongst regular quizzes. It also helps with camaraderie in the same way as the previous Who Am I question does. Question 10 is 100 people surveys. That's a survey question which will often bring about an opportunity for you to break yourself and maybe get a comfort break as a quizmaster, get a drink, and indeed your quizzes do the same thing. So it's handy for that, and also gives them time to think. And again, there are 5 answers, and again I will give a point for each they get, and potentially an extra bonus if they get the first one as the top answer. So this example, another word for big, and 100 people were surveyed said large, huge, massive, grand and tall. Following a similar format then, there's a wordplay at 13. At 14 there's a sport question, as I've said. 15 is multiple choice. 16 is guess the year in round 2. 17 and 18 are quite unique to FunPub Quiz and really are a mark that you know you've got a FunPub quiz. These are weird and bizarre news stories. They're multiple choice, so even if people have never heard the story, they'll have a chance at guessing it. But it really does bring in an element of fun to the quiz. Both questions are intentionally put at the end of the quiz. This is because sometimes they can have a sexual orientation to them as questions, or just be plain naughty or silly. That's fine, that's acceptable. And also at that time of night, you've probably not got younger people around to worry about. People don't like them. If they don't, then that's fine. There are replacement questions in the quiz, but I do urge you to give them a try. They really are some of the funnier parts of the evening for most of the quizzes. Number 20 are 2 anagrams, and again, intentionally, those are put at the end of the quiz because it takes them a while to work them out, and that really does give you opportunity to clean up and sort out your end of your quiz, get your scoring sorted, and potentially, of course, get that extra comfort stop in, both for you and indeed for your quiz teams. And if you're early finishing, you can give them some extra time, or if you're running a little late, you can urge them along and make them hand over their answer sheets quicker. So there are all the answers to those questions. I sometimes get things wrong, and my regulars will know this. I'm not infallible, and I always try to send you a new version of the packs as soon as I find an error or a problem with them. All packs are checked, but even the checks get through sometimes. It's not without its flaws at some times. However, most of the time it's pretty reliable and decent. So here's your answer sheet. The silver picks answers on one side, the mixed picks on the other. Replacement questions are here. Tie breaks are here, and these are all things that are either numeric or have a value that they can guess near to, which allows you to do jackpot type questions with those there. The pictures are generally formatted, I believe, very well. They're usually very clear, and they contain a mixture of different sorts of pictures. So not just a load of celebrities, but actually things like coins, or classic cars, or classic movies, classic films in the silvers, and as well as your usual celebrities, morphed pictures, chocolate bars, logos, countries, modern films, and say what you sees. Say what you sees are very much like those you might see on the game show catchphrase. So the answer to this would be a broken record. You see the word record is broken there. And this is bottles of beer in a garden, quite obviously beer garden. Finally, there's a score sheet which you fill in round 1 answers, round 2 answers, and you add them together, then 2 pictures, you'll get a total, and then you can put in a finishing position, and that helps you keep score. And that is your pack from FUNPUBQUIZ.com. Cheers from Gaz.